캐나다 캘거리 공항. 대통령 전용기에서 내린 이재명 대통령 부부가 도열한 캐나다 정부 인사들, 인디언 복장을 한 캐나다 원주민 부족장 등과 인사를 나눕니다. 이 대통령은 곧장 G7 정상회의에 초청된 비회원국 정상들을 만났습니다. 이 대통령은 아프리카 국가 최초로 올해 주요 20개국 G20 정상회의 의장국이 된 남아프리카 공화국의 시릴 라마포사 대통령과 첫 대면 정상회담을 했습니다. 이 대통령은 남아공 내 에너지 분야 등에서 활동 중인 한국 기업에 대한 남아공 정부의 지원을 당부했고, 라마포사 대통령은 한국 기업의 남아공 내 투자와 진출이 확대되기를 기대한다고 화답했습니다. 이 대통령은 앤소니 알바니지 호주 총리와도 만나 에너지와 자원 분야 등에서 양국 협력을 강화하기로 했습니다.
자원, 에너지 문제, 또 자원 문제에 있어서는 우리 호주에 의존하는 게 상당히 많습니다. 호주의 자연 경관을 너무 좋아해서 제가 몇 번 방문한 일도 있는데 최대한 빠른 시간 내에 호주를 한번 가도록 하겠습니다.
김혜경 여사는 해외 첫 공식 일정으로 이 대통령과 함께 캐나다 엘버타 주 수상이 주최하는 환영 행사에 참석했습니다. 대통령실 고위 관계자는 환영 행사와 정상 만찬에서 미국과의 관세 협상에 어떻게 대처할지 의견이 오갔고, 특히 안토니오 구테르스 유엔 사무총장이 한국의 민주주의 회복력에 큰 관심을 표했다고 전했습니다. 이 대통령의 첫 해외 순방은 취임 12일 만으로 역대 대통령보다 빨랐습니다. 이재명 대통령은 내일 G7 회원국 정상 등과 잇따라 회담을 갖고 본격적인 다자 정상외교에 나섭니다. 캘거리에서 SBS 강청원입니다.
It's for him. No, seriously.
I'd rather have him answer. But you do allow them to take land.
No.
You do allow them to take land.
Nobody can
and then
take
when
land.
they take the land, they kill the white farmer.
I want to respond.
You know, you got to get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet?
If they're committing genocide, why invite them to the White House?
When to occupy land will require no permission from you, from the president,
Driving to stop there to pay respects to their family members.
We are really privileged to have, great South Africans in the mix. As you said, you'd like to see them as well.
So what I'm trying to say is, we want the.
They're trying to burn the farms down. I grew up in an area in South Africa that.
What happens to me from South Africa? This is what Elon wanted. He actually came here at a different.
You might remember when I spoke to you and we spoke about golf, you said I should start practicing. And I've started practicing, President. So I'm ready. Thank you very
I
much.
remember the call. You said 150. You're right. You two guys are fantastic. Go ahead, talk about that. His name is Peter something. He's a terrible.
If they're committing genocide, why invite them to the White House? I'll be quiet here. That's my question now.
A lot of people are very concerned with regard to South Africa, and that's really the purpose of the meeting, and we'll see how that turns out. But we have many people that feel they're being persecuted, and they're coming to the United States. So we take from many locations if we feel there's persecution or genocide going on. Generally, they're white farmers, and they're fleeing South Africa.
What will it take for you to be convinced that there's no white genocide in South Africa?
Well, I can answer that for President. It's for him. No, seriously.
I'd rather have him answer.
Yeah, I'd rather answer that. If there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me. So it'll take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective.
But, Mr. President, I must say that we have, wait. We have thousands of stories talking about it.
Sure.
And we have documentaries, we have news stories. There's somebody here to turn that. I could show you a couple of things. It has to be responded to.
Yeah, sure, we will.
Let me see the articles, please, if you would. And turn the lights down. Turn the lights down and just put this on. It's right behind you. Johan.
There's nothing nothing this parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. Yamaza, kill the poor, the farmer. Shoot to kill. Yamaza, kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer.
Now this is very bad. These are burial sites right here. Burial sites. Over 1,000 of white farmers, and those cars aren't driving. They're stopped there to pay respects to their family member who was killed, and it's a terrible sight. I've never seen anything like it. Both sides of the road you have crosses. Those people were all killed.
Have they told you where that is, Mr. President? No, I'd like to know where that is, because this I've never seen. I don't. Okay.
I mean, it's in South Africa, that's where.
We need to find out.
Mr. President, the Pentagon announced that it would be accepting a Qatari jet to be used as Air Force One.
What are you talking about? You know,
What are you talking about?
You know, you to get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? We're talking about a lot of other things. It's NBC trying to get off the subject of what you just saw. You are a real, you know, you're a terrible reporter. Number one, you don't have what it takes to be a reporter. You're not smart enough. Go back, you ought to go back to your studio at NBC. They ought to be investigated. They are so terrible the way you run that network. And you're a disgrace. No more questions from you. Go ahead. His name is Peter something. He's a terrible reporter. Quiet.
That's my question now.
Let's go.
If they're committing genocide, why invite them to the White House? I'll be quiet. Sure, that's my question now.
Let's go.
Thank you so much, President Trump. Annika Larson from ENCA in South Africa. Thank you very much for hosting us. What would you like President Ramaphosa to do about the situation that we've just seen on the screen?
I don't know. Look, these are articles over the last few days. Death of people. Death. Horrible death. Death. I don't know.
But you know that there are
Pick
black
anyone.
people who are
White
dying
South
the most.
Africans are fleeing because of the violence and racist laws. So when you say, what would I like to do? I don't know what to do. Look at this. White South African couple say that they were attacked violently.
They're committing genocide, why invite them? So if they are committing genocide, why invite the South Africans to the White House?
May I finish, please, President Trump?
Now, we're going to talk about it, but this is a tremendous, look, this is story recent. These are all people that recently got killed. And I don't know how it can get any worse. These are
President Trump.
Let me clarify that.
Yeah.
Let me clarify that, because what you saw, the speeches that were being made, one, that is not government policy. We have a multi-party democracy in South Africa that allows people to express themselves, political parties to adhere to various policies. Our government policy is completely against what he was saying.
But you do allow them to take land.
No.
You do allow them to take land.
Nobody can take land.
And then when they take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No, there is
Nothing happens to them.
There is criminality in our country. People who do get killed, unfortunately through criminal activity, are not only white people. Majority of them are black people. And we have now
The farmers are black. The farmers are not black. I don't say that's good or bad, but the farmers are not black. And the people that are being killed in large numbers, and you saw all those grave sites. We're here to talk about it, and I didn't know we'd get involved here. The news wasn't fake like NBC, which is fake news totally. One of the worst, ABC, NBC, CBS, horrible. But if they weren't fake news like this jerk, that we have here. If we had real reporters, they'd be covering it. But the fake news in this country doesn't talk about that. But now they have to talk about it. So why did they give us a plane to the United States Air Force? That's what that idiot talks about after viewing a thing where thousands of people are dead.
I'm sorry, I don't have a plane to give you.
I wish you did. I'd take it. I would take it. If your country offered the United States Air Force a plane, I would take it.
Okay. But coming back to this issue, which I really would like us to talk about, and talk about it very calmly, including, of course, trade matters, investment matters. So the issues that concern you as the United States.
Those are all recent. Those are all deaths.
Yeah, in many ways, I mean, one should say you are a partner of South Africa, and you are raising concerns, and these are concerns that we are willing to talk to you about. And we are here as a partner, so I'd like us to discuss it, and of course, outside of the media, problems. People need to sit down around a table.
But I have a great feeling for South Africa because I have friends. I have a couple of friends, a few friends here today. I have Elon is from South Africa. I don't want to get Elon involved, but I will say that people are fleeing South Africa for their own safety. Their land is being confiscated, and in many cases, they're being killed.
Brian, if I could just ask you a question, Berlinski.
No.
Why don't you wear a suit? 72% of farmers in your country are white. If they flee, do you feel that maybe the economy could collapse? You may not have a gap to fill in those people that need to replace those farmers.
I'd like my Minister of Agriculture, who is white, who comes from an opposition party to mine.
I don't think anyone wants to candy coat that. And it requires a lot of effort to get on top of it. That the two individuals that are in that video that you've seen are both leaders of opposition minority parties in South Africa. Now, the reason that my party, the Democratic Alliance, which has been an opposition party for over 30 years, chose to join hands with Mr. Ramaphosa's party was precisely to keep those people out of power.
That's not a small party. That was a stadium that holds 100,000 people, and I hardly saw an empty seat.
Genocide is a very strong word. I'm wondering if you've made up your mind as to whether you believe genocide is occurring in South Africa, or you still have doubts, and if you have made up your mind, why invite President Ramaphosa here today for this conversation?
Well, I haven't made up my mind. I hate to see it from the standpoint of South Africa, but also, I'm trying to save lives.
Coexistence going on in health. But I don't think two wrongs makes a right. This has been a long time coming. That's why we really wanted to meet you, meet the administration, and see our way forward. We've got some great things going on. Business is getting involved with government. Farmers are getting involved in local municipalities, trying to rebuild some of the infrastructure that's been decaying for a long time. But I feel we need the US to push this thing through.
Where did you do that well? He might have done that even better than he plays golf.
We have too many deaths, but it's across the board. It's not only white farmers, it's across the board. Remember, sir, you and I lived in New York in the 70s. We never thought New York could be what it became. We need your help to stop this awful killing.
There is no doubt about it that we are a violent nation. And the problem in South Africa, it is not necessarily about race, but it is about crime. And we think that we are here to say, how do we, both nations, work together to reset, to really talk about investment, but also help us in how we can have the technology and everything that is needed, President.
So we kept saying there is a security problem, and we're not running away from that. There's criminality. There is just no genocide in South Africa. The issue that he kept raising, or he raised prominently, is the issue of genocide. And when he was asked by one of you, and thank God one of you asked, whether he was convinced that there was genocide, he says, no, he's not convinced. I do believe that there is doubt and disbelief in his head. about all this.
You allow them to take land.
Nobody can
and then
take
when
land.
they take the land,